Hello everyone, Siri Emerald here, and this will be an unboxing video of the Iron Man 3 Mark 36 Peacemaker 1/6 scale figure by Hot Toys, item number 902253, and let's open it up, have a look. Alright, here we are. Sideshow exclusive, Hot Toys, Iron Man Mark 3, Mark 36. Okay, let's see. Let's have a look at the outside of the box. This is a sleeve style box. Has a Sideshow exclusive sticker on it right there. And there's a, I don't know if you call it Art Deco, but it's definitely an artistic rendition of the Mark 36 side profile of it. And right there it says Marvel Iron Man 3, Big 36. Now this is all rough. The figure is rough feeling. The rest of the box is smooth. The numbers and the letters are smooth, but the figure itself is rough feeling to my fingers, kind of gritty like sandpaper. And there it says Mark XXXVI, which is Roman numerals for 36. 1/6 scale collectible figure, MMS 258, Hot Toys Movie Masterpiece Series. And on the left here it says Peacemaker Mark 36, 1/6 scale collectible figure. On the other side says the same thing. And on the back it has the information about the figure. It says choking hazard, small parts, not for children under 3 years old, adult collectible, not a toy, recommended for ages 15 and up. Please read instructions carefully before you open this product. This package is intended to protect the product itself only. Replacement requests will not be considered even if it is damaged. Final product may slightly vary from the pictured prototype. Product may need a few steps of assembly to be completed. Please keep your purchase receipt. The receipt is necessary for customer support services. After sale service will only be provided for first-hand purchases via official channels. And that's a notice. I hadn't seen that notice before. Maybe I've just been skipping over it. Here it has Hot Toys presents Movie Masterpiece Series, 1/6 scale collectible figure, Iron Man 3, Mark 36, Peacemaker, made in China, produced by Hot Toys, official retail store Secret Base, official retail store Toy Hunters, Marvel.com, and there's UPC, some other little emblems. I don't even know what those are. And let's see, on the top it says Iron Man 3. And on the bottom it says Iron Man 3. Of course I had it backwards, so it's upside down. Let's go ahead and take the sleeve off here. Alright. Come on out of there. There we go. And there it is. The Riot-Control Armor. So essentially, first impressions, as you're looking at it, you can tell that it's the same setup, for the most part, as the Mark 35 Red Snapper over there. The arms are different. If I remember correctly, this is a Mark 7 bicep or upper arm and a Mark 17 lower arm, if I remember correctly. Other than that, this will be the same as the Mark 35 Red Snapper. Looks like we have the fists a repulsor hand, and articulated hands. First impressions here is what I'm gathering. I don't see any other accessories being displayed through the box there, so I'm assuming it only has just the one head. So let's go ahead and get her open here. All right, and with the sleeves, you have the clamshell. Right here it says, please read instructions sheet first and follow all construction details during the assemble process. It should say during the assembly process. Please read instruction sheet first and follow all construction details during the assembly process. That's what it should say. Okay, so, but that's what it said on all the ones that I've seen so far. So we have the back piece here, which is going to have our base. It's going to have our battery. It's going to have our posing stand. Then we have 2, 3, 4 more pieces of plastic. So let's separate these pieces here. Separate the figure from the base. Let's see if the figure will stand up here while he's still in this case. All right, and let's open up this base here. The bottom pieces here. Good. Pull this apart, like so. And we have a battery pack with the little plastic pry driver. And we have a clear plastic posing stand. It appears to be similar to the one that came with the Mark II Armor Unleashed. I'll look at that a little better here in a moment. So that means it's not going to be a flight pose. And this is the piece that you'll slide over it for posing. It's going to go over through his waist in that regards. This is probably the top because it's sealed off and that's open. I can't imagine that being the top. That must be the bottom. You don't want dust and stuff to settle through there, so that would have to be the bottom. So let's just slide right over here, and you can unscrew that to loosen it up so that it slides down there better. Tighten it back down once you get it to position to hold it up. And we have probably a non-illuminated base here. And yeah, that's sealed up, non-illuminated. So this is the same base as came with the Mark 17 and Mark 33s, but it has the clear plastic display rod instead of a flight rod that goes in there. And we'll just give that a little shove, stick that in there, set that aside for right now. Here's the instruction manual. Oh, right, stickers. Now, I'm buying an assembled action figure. I'm not buying a model toy. I shouldn't have to put it together. On the other side of the coin, since they did this with the Mark 36, I would assume they would have done the same thing with the Iron Legion and gave you the opportunity of making 1 through 5 based off of just stickers. But it appears that they didn't do that. It appears that they have released the Iron Legion number 3, and they haven't said anything about 1, 2, 4, or 5 on that. So they provide the stickers with this. They catch a little grief over it. You have to put your own stickers on your figure if you want them. And then evidently they don't do stickers with the Iron Legion. And who knows if they'll make the other 4. It's all up in the air. So anyhow, let's open this up. Let's read the instructions. See what we got here. Opens up like a backwards book. Really? Oh, here we go. There we are. All right, A. LED light of eyes. goes inside the neck. And I'm assuming this is going to be similar to the Mark 35 in that regards. It's looking a lot like the Mark 35. So there's the 3 batteries that go in the neck, the little on-off switches above that. The head and neck are separable on the Mark 35, so the head does come off of the neck. The LED arc reactor is controlled on the back, like it has been on the ones that I've seen. On-off switch, batteries will go in there. It says that the batteries are included for this. And here the batteries go into the forearm, just like they do on the Mark 17. I'm pretty sure it's the way the Mark 17 is. I have to look. And there's a picture of it completely shown, lit up. The eyes and the chest and the hand. And on the back we have showing the interchangeable hands with the fist and the repulsor hand and the articulated fingers. And it talks about how the thigh slides up and down when you bend the knee. So be careful of that. It's a neat little feature. I like it. And there we've already done that portion with the posing stand. And here's the stickers. We already talked about them, showing where they go. Looks like they go on the back shoulders and on the middle of the back and on the back legs. Okay, and here it's saying the real like electric cables on the armor are non-detachable. Don't attempt to pull them out. So don't mess with those. Don't mix old and new batteries. Don't look at the LED directly. Don't mix alkalines with standard carbon, zinc, or rechargeable batteries. And please change the battery and observe the status of the battery regularly. There's the instructions. Set those aside. Let's get this little sticker out here. We're going to need those in a minute to put this together. And let's get him out of his box here. All right. Oh yeah. There he is. There he is. Let's get the little foam out here. So he's battle worn. If I remember correctly, the Mark 35 was not battle worn. And you know what? Yeah, that is the Mark 17 forearms. Look a little different, but that's definitely them. Okay, let's finish taking him apart here. So actually, no, he's not battle damaged. He's battle worn, and the difference obviously is battle worn is scuffed up, battle damaged is beat up. I've seen some collectors who like the battle damaged pieces, and they actually buy the custom made battle damaged pieces. Not a big fan of the battle damaged pieces. I mean, I'm sure there's a time for all of the, if you're reenacting or reposing a specific instance in the movie, or you just want Iron Man to look like he's been through a really rough battle, then yeah, I suppose that would work. But I like keeping my cars clean. I like keeping my Iron Man looking good. It happens though, sometimes they get scratched up. I mean, what can you do in that instance? Come out to your car and you find out somebody's wasn't as careful with your car as you have been with your car, and you have a big old ding in it. I mean, what are you going to do? Surely can't contact insurance for every little ding. You would pay so much for your car's insurance, it wouldn't even be funny. All right. So yeah, there he is. He's the same as the Mark 35 in the regards to the articulation of his waist. They have this spun out to one side a little bit. His waist does not move in that instance because of that. It's the exact same legs, exact same core, if you will. Exact same head and neck, shoulders. But the bicep is from the Mark 7, and the forearms and hands are from the Mark 17, just painted differently. Now, and looking at this, these I can't tell if that's a sparkle paint or just more battle worn. I guess that's battle worn on there. So, you know, I guess the good thing about battle worn is if you decide you want to start cracking your piece up to get to the inside to see how he's built, you know, doing what men like to do, figure out how this thing is made, then you don't mind if you get a little scratched up a bit because it's already scratched up. So those must be exhaust ports on that for them to show that black coming out of there. That's pretty cool. You know, just as on the Mark 35, I like how this strut or shock, I guess it'd be a shock. No, it could be a strut. Hydraulic strut retracts into the calf. I just thought that was really cool. So his movement is obviously going to be the same. When his knee bends, this thigh piece is going to slide down right there. And the knee is thought that the knee was double. Thought it bent more on the other one. Let's check that real quick. I'm sitting right here, of course. Let's grab the other one and have a peek at him. By the way, you might be able to tell, got a little construction going on him over there. That will be in another video. You can probably guess what it is that I'll be doing with him. And I can't wait to show you how that is when it is done. Let's come over here and have a look at his leg here real quick, because I thought that it was bent more. No, that's it. There you have it. So that's that. Let's put him back over here. Get onto his project here in a moment. And so let's look at this Mark 17. See where the arms differ on the two of them. Come on over here, Heartbreaker, Peacemaker, Love Taker, don't you mess around with me. That's not how it goes, is it? Alright, so what we have here on the Mark 17, where the joint is, you have a double jointed elbow. So you have one joint there with the inside of the elbow, or the elbow piece, and then the forearm there. So now let's see how that compares to the Peacemaker. And you can see that it is a different elbow piece than on the Mark 17. Now I don't have a Mark 7 to compare the top piece of the bicep to, but when that does come in my possession, I'll be able to do that comparison. But yes, this is the Mark 17 forearm, no doubt about that. And you know, I always hear people talk about Hot Toys did this, Hot Toys did that, Hot Toys is copying figures, Hot Toys is just repainting figures. You know, there's no difference between the Mark 35 and the Mark 36, except they threw some arms in there. No difference between the Mark 20 and the Mark 7 and the Mark 17. They just, you know, it wasn't Hot Toys that did that. That was Marvel that did that. That was the studio. They're the ones that designed these pieces. Hot Toys has to follow their instructions as to how they go. And you can find that there's a book that's available that you can purchase, shows all of them, all the ones that they made for Iron Man 3. So Hot Toys is just religiously following what was made, and God bless them. I think that's great because I think all the pieces should be made. If I wanted to buy a Mark 9, I should be able to buy a Mark 9. Simple as that. Be it brand new from Hot Toys, or if I missed the limited run of it and end up having to buy it from a secondary market online or from a retailer, then so be it. But it should be available to me as a manufactured piece and not a kit bash piece. But hey, kit bashing is kit bashing, and I got nothing wrong with kit bashing either. Well, obviously you can see I'm doing some kit bashing over there myself. So let's talk about his articulation. So he goes out about that far. Again, if this is anything like the Mark 35, which I'm sure it is, he's not going to sit real well. Oh, he's going to sit better, I guess, because this one's not, on the Mark 35, if you remember, they have a little pole with a little hole that went into the hole in between there that he sat on, and the little piece was so thick that you couldn't get it down. Well, now it appears that this little piece here is thin enough that it will slide in there, and he'll be able to sit with his legs as close as they can get. Good fix. I like that. Too bad that didn't come with the Mark 35. Well, so much for that. But that's a good fix. I like that. And let's see his little back of his, where his Achilles tendon would be. That goes up and down right there. And this one goes up and down there in the front. And we've got side to side movement of the foot. And we have front and back movement of the foot. Like that. This moves quite a bit. And now it doesn't move as far if you don't pull this back. So if this is down and you push that, it's not going to want to move easily. So you lift this out of the way, and then you can go back further. So we have that, and then we have the little movement there, and you can go forward like that. Got that much right there. And these shoulder pads move up and out of the way so he can move his arm around. Put him in an unnatural position so he can move it in all directions. And his elbow is double jointed, so it bends there, and then it continues to bend there, like that. And his waist is not articulated, something I'm looking into. So his waist does not move as the way he is right now. And his head and his neck do move independently of each other. It does disconnect, and the battery's back there. Oh, it looks like there's little colors off. It appears that the neck is not the same shade of orange as the rest of him there. Now that may just be the lighting, but it looks like it's a little off to me. So that could be a little bummer. Back here, of course, is where batteries go for his arc reactor, same as on the Mark 35, and the Mark 17 and the Mark 36. The batteries go right there, and the hand just pops right off. Little light right there. Comes with the fists on it, and I'll show you the other hands that come with him. So those are the hands from the Mark 17, no doubt about it. Those are exactly the same hands as was on the Mark 17. Let's get him turned around here. And these are the same hands as are on the Mark 17. So you have two repulsor hands, and they're repulsor hands because the ball input, instead of it being straight back, is angled. So that would be straight, so the hands are up in that capacity. The little light that shines through them. The fists do not have the lights through them for the repulsors. And then we have the articulated hand And again, this is the same hand as comes with the Mark 17 Heartbreaker, only it's painted orange. So this finger here seems to be bent there. Let's see if we can straighten that out. I must have assembled this while the paint was still wet. It's a little sticky. That's all right. I don't mind it being a little difficult to move. These pieces wear out with use, as any toy does or would. So he's a little tough to move. You can get him down into a fist, and the fingers have the same joints in them that your fingers do. The thumb only has 2 joints. This part of the thumb doesn't move on the figures, just the 2 joints right there. So, like that. He's not the Power Pose series, thank God, which is what the Mark 35 was. So I'm assuming the difference between Power Pose and Movie Masterpiece series was the hands, because in all actuality, that's all he's gained. He has gained this and one more joint in the elbow, because I think the Mark 35 is on a single joint in the elbow. At first, I didn't even think the elbow was even bent, the Mark 35, when I first got it. Yeah, just a single joint. So the difference between the Power Pose series and the Movie Masterpiece series in articulation is articulated hands, 2 articulated hands, and a double jointed elbow. Other than that, same figure in regards to that.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Please share your thoughts on this figure in the comment section below. Follow me on Facebook at Siri.Emerald. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Happy collecting!